China just made a move that Wall Street didn't want you to notice. While everyone was watching the stock market, while everyone was distracted by headlines about interest rates and inflation numbers, China was quietly doing something that could shake the entire global financial system to its core. This isn't some distant story happening on the other side of the world that doesn't affect you. This is about your money, your savings, your future. Because what's happening right now with gold isn't just a story about Asia. It could trigger the biggest shock Wall Street has seen in decades. And if you don't understand what's coming, you could be caught completely off guard, watching helplessly as everything you've built starts to slip through your fingers. Before we go further, if you care about protecting what you've worked your whole life to build, hit that subscribe button right now. Finance Stories brings you the truth about money, markets, and what the mainstream media won't tell you. Subscribe now, because what I'm about to show you next will change the way you see your bank account forever. Here's what almost nobody's talking about. Everyone assumes gold is going up. That's the headline you see everywhere. Gold hits new highs. Gold breaks another record. But that's not really the full story. And it's not even close to the truth of what's happening. Gold isn't rising the way you think it is. What's actually happening is the dollar is falling, the paper in your wallet, the numbers in your bank account. They're losing value every single day, and gold is simply staying the same. It's not that gold suddenly became more valuable overnight. It's that the dollar you've trusted your entire life, the currency your parents trusted, the currency your grandparents trusted, is quietly being drained of its power. Piece by piece, dollar by dollar. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable, and where most financial channels won't go. For decades, the price of gold hasn't been set by real supply and real demand the way most people assume it is. A huge portion of the gold market isn't physical gold changing hands at all. It's paper contracts, futures, derivatives, promises on a screen that claim to represent gold, but that may never actually turn into a physical bar sitting in a vault somewhere. Traders in major banks can create enormous amounts of these paper claims, far more than the actual physical gold that exists to back them up. Some estimates suggest that for every ounce of real physical gold, there are dozens of paper claims circulating on top of it. Critics have argued for years that this system allows the true price of gold to be pushed around, suppressed, and manipulated, keeping the real value hidden from the public for as long as the system can hold together. And why does this matter to you? Sitting at home, working your job, trying to build a future for your family, because the same system that touches gold touches everything else in your financial life. Your 401k. For most Americans, it isn't stacks of cash sitting somewhere safe in a vault. It's paper. It's digital entries on a screen. It's promises made by institutions that assume you'll never ask to cash out all at once, that assume the majority of people will simply keep trusting the system no matter what happens. It's numbers on a screen that only have real value as long as the system behind them holds together. And right now, that system is under more pressure than it's been in decades. Meanwhile, quietly, without much fanfare in the mainstream press, central banks around the world, not just China, but Russia, India, Turkey, and a growing list of other nations, have been buying up physical gold at a pace not seen in generations. These aren't small, symbolic purchases. These are massive, calculated moves by countries that are actively preparing for something. They're not buying paper contracts, they're buying promises. They're demanding physical delivery, real bars, real weight, real metal they can hold and store within their own borders. Ask yourself honestly, why would so many nations be quietly stockpiling physical gold at the same time? Unless they saw something coming that most everyday Americans simply haven't been told about yet. Let's talk about what this actually means for you personally. Because this isn't abstract. This isn't some theoretical discussion for economists in ivory towers. This is personal. Your retirement savings, the thing you've sacrificed for, the thing you've put away paycheck after paycheck for 20, 30, 40 years of your life. Much of it exists as paper promises. Not gold, not silver, not something you can hold in your hand when the lights go out and the systems stop working the way they're supposed to. Just numbers, backed by trusted institutions that have broken that trust before and could break it again, and it doesn't stop there. Think about Fort Knox, that name we all grew up hearing about. That symbol of American financial strength. For generations, Americans have been told the same reassuring story. Don't worry, the gold is there. It's safe, it's guarded, it's real. It's exactly what they say it is. But how many of us have actually seen it with our own eyes? How many truly independent, transparent audits have verified, beyond any reasonable doubt, exactly what's sitting inside those vaults right now? Year after year, questions get raised by serious people asking serious questions. Year after year, those questions get brushed aside, deflected, or quietly buried. And when the people in charge of accounting for the nation's gold refuse full, transparent verification, you have to ask yourself, what exactly are they protecting? The gold itself, or the story they've been telling us for generations? This should make you angry. It genuinely should. Because this isn't a conspiracy theory whispered in dark corners of the internet by anonymous accounts anymore. This is a documented pattern. Major banks quietly settling lawsuits over precious metals manipulation, paying enormous fines behind closed doors, traders formally charged and fined for rigging prices in ways that hurt ordinary investors, insiders admitting, under oath, in courtrooms, that price manipulation happened for years while regulators looked the other way, either unwilling or unable to stop it. Meanwhile, everyday Americans were told again and again that the market was fair, that the system worked, that their hard-earned dollars were completely safe. How many times can trust be broken before people finally stop believing the story altogether? And here's the part that should really keep you up at night tonight. The part that separates the people who are truly prepared from the people who end up completely blindsided. Every single fiat currency in the history of the world has eventually returned to zero. Every one. Not most. Not many. Every single one. Without exception. The Roman denarius, slowly debased over centuries until it was worthless. The German mark in the 1920s, where people needed wheelbarrows full of cash just to buy a loaf of bread. Countless currencies across Latin America, across Africa, across Asia, throughout modern history. Paper, money, backed by nothing but government promises, always, eventually, without fail, collapses under the weight of its own printing. And right now, today, the United States is printing money at a pace that has no real historical precedent. Trillions of dollars created essentially out of thin air, injected into an economy that was never designed to absorb that kind of flood all at once. If this continues, if Washington keeps choosing short-term political relief over long-term financial stability, the dollar could lose value faster than almost anyone is currently prepared for. Not gradually, in a way you can comfortably adjust to over years. It could happen in a way that catches millions of Americans completely off guard, the exact same way it always has throughout history, right before nearly every currency collapse the world has ever witnessed. Think about what that actually means in your real, everyday life. It means the same amount of money in your account buys less bread, less gas, less rent, less of absolutely everything, month after month, quietly, gradually, until one day you look up and suddenly realize your savings don't stretch nearly as far as they used to just a few years ago. It means the retirement you carefully planned for could end up looking nothing like the retirement you actually get to experience. It means working just as hard as ever, saving just as much as ever, and still somehow falling further behind because the ground underneath your money is constantly shifting, even when the number displayed on the screen stays exactly the same. This is the part nobody wants to say out loud. The uncomfortable truth: purchasing power doesn't disappear all at once. In one dramatic moment, it erodes slowly, silently, invisibly, until the moment it doesn't, until the moment it becomes undeniable. And by the time most people finally notice, by the time it becomes front page news, it's already too late to prepare properly. Look at what's already happened to everyday groceries, to rent, to the cost of simply living a normal life over the last few years. Prices that used to feel stable suddenly jumped And even though the headlines say inflation has cooled, almost nothing actually came back down. That's not an accident. That's not bad luck. That's what happens when a currency is diluted year after year after year. And if the pace of money printing continues, if the debt keeps climbing with no real plan to control it, the next chapter of this story could be far more severe than anything we've experienced so far in our lifetimes. So what do you actually do with all of this information? Because understanding a problem without a path forward just leaves you feeling anxious, stuck, and powerless. Here's the truth, and it's simpler than you might think. Physical gold and silver were never about getting rich overnight. Anyone selling you that dream, promising you explosive returns, is selling you a fantasy, not financial wisdom. This isn't about speculation. This isn't about chasing some explosive short-term gain and bragging about it online. This is about something far simpler and far more important: preserving what you already have, protecting what you've already worked so hard to build for thousands of years, long before banks existed, long before paper currency was ever invented, long before anyone had ever heard the word derivative or quantitative easing. Gold and silver held real value. Empires rose and fell. Currencies were invented, trusted, and then abandoned. Governments came and went. Rulers changed. Borders shifted. And through every single collapse, every single crisis, every single war, gold and silver remained valuable. Not because of clever marketing, not because of hype campaigns or social media trends, because they simply can't be printed into existence. They can't be inflated into worthlessness with the push of a button by a central bank. They can't be conjured out of thin air by a committee meeting behind closed doors in a room you'll never be invited into. When you hold physical gold or silver in your own hands, you're not holding a promise from someone else. You're not holding an IOU from a bank that might not honor it when things get genuinely difficult. You're holding something real, something tangible, something that has protected wealth across centuries, across continents, across every single currency collapse in recorded human history. While paper burns and history shows us again and again and again that eventually it always does, real physical assets remain standing. This is where hope comes back into the picture, and this matters. You are not powerless in this story, even though it might feel that way sometimes. You don't have to sit back passively and simply hope that Washington gets it right, that the banks somehow stay honest, that the dollar somehow magically avoids the same fate as every other fiat currency that came before it. You can take concrete steps right now, today, this week, to put a real layer of protection between your life savings and a system that has shown you over and over and over again that it doesn't always have your best interests at heart. This isn't about abandoning the dollar completely, or living in constant fear, or hoarding stacks of cash under a mattress somewhere in your house. It's about balance. It's about not putting 100% of your trust and 100% of your future into a single system that has already proven, time and time again throughout history, that it can fail. Diversifying a portion of what you own into real, physical assets isn't extreme, and it isn't paranoid at all. For most of human history, it was simply common sense, the way ordinary families protected themselves for generations before paper promises became the default. Before we go further, if this is opening your eyes even a little bit, do-us a favor, drop a comment below and tell us honestly what you think. Are you concerned about what's happening with the dollar right now? Have you noticed your own purchasing power slipping? And if you haven't already, hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps finance stories reach more people who need to hear this message before it's too late for them to. Now, here's the real question you need to sit with quietly. The question that matters more than anything else you'll hear in this entire video. Not will this happen, because history has already answered that question definitively for every single fiat currency that has ever existed on this planet. The real question is, will you be ready when it does happen? Will you be one of the people who saw the warning signs early and took meaningful action? Or will you be one of the people who says, months or years from now, with regret in their voice, I saw it coming. I even watched videos about it, but I didn't actually do anything about it. Don't wait for Washington to protect you. They haven't consistently protected ordinary Americans in the past, and there's no strong reason to believe this time will somehow be different. Don't wait for the banks to suddenly become transparent about what's really backing your money behind the scenes. Don't wait for a full-blown crisis to force your hand when you could instead be preparing calmly, deliberately, thoughtfully, entirely on your own terms. Starting right now, because at the end of the day, throughout all of recorded human history, across every civilization and every currency, one truth keeps repeating itself over and over. Whoever holds the real assets holds the real power. Whoever holds the gold makes the rules. This isn't about fear for the sake of fear, and it's not about trying to scare you into a panic just for views or attention. It's about clarity, plain and simple. It's about seeing the system for what it actually is. Honestly, instead of what we've all been comfortably told it is for decades. It's about taking back a small but meaningful piece of control in a financial world that often feels completely out of your hands, completely out of your control. You've worked too hard, for too many years, sacrificed too much to leave your entire future in the hands of a system that has already shown you its cracks. Again and again and again. If this video opened your eyes even a little today, let us know in the comments below. We genuinely read every single one, and your perspective actually shapes the stories we choose to tell next. And if you found real value in this video, smash that like button right now. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it helps this message reach someone else out there who needs to hear it just as much as you did today. Before you go, there's another video appearing on your screen right now from Finance Stories that dives even deeper into exactly how this entire system really works behind the scenes, and what history consistently tells us happens next every single time this pattern has played out before. Click on it. Keep learning, keep protecting yourself with real, honest knowledge, and stay one step ahead of a financial system that doesn't always work in your favor. We'll see you there.